Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful off-shoulder bustier with tweeted neckline and a double layer sleeve. If this is something I'm interested to learn, you want to keep on watching and let's get started. And if you're yet subscribe, kindly hit on subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notification bells so it is notified anytime new video drops. If this is something I'm interested to learn, keep on watching and let's dive into today's tutorial. Place your tape from your pattern paper, come down by your bust point. My bust point is 9.5. I will mark it. My under bust is 12.5. I will mark. My waistline is 15 inch. I will mark. And the length I want for this blouse, I'll make it 22 inch. I will also mark. On the other side, I repeat the same inch. I marked my 9.5 inch, which is my bust point, under bust, and waistline, plus how long I want the blouse to be. Rule out a straight line across just like you see me doing here, and don't forget to label. So before I continue with my label, I went ahead to fold in about half inch of the center front. My pattern was not on a fold and it wasn't straight as well, so I went ahead to fold in about half an inch. So after folding in, I will go ahead and label. This is my bust point, my under bust, waistline, and full length of my blouse. I'll cut the remaining excess I have at the down part. After that, the next thing I want to do is from the bust point, I'm going to come up by 2 inch. This 2 inch will serve as my chest line. Mark your straight line across using your ruler and label as well, okay? So I'm going to mark half of my shoulder measurement on the shoulder line, do the same thing on the chest line. I'll connect the 2 points like so in a straight line like so. And I'm also going to come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, then 3 inch for neck width. I'll connect from the shoulder slope to the neck width just this way. And I'll place my curve ruler like so, then connect my armhole curve, okay? Now that I'm done with that, next thing I want to do is to mark half of my nipple to nipple, which is 3.5 as usual. After marking, connect a straight line from the chest line to your full length of your blouse, just like you see me did here. On the part going towards the center, I'm going to go in by half inch on the under bust, the waistline full length, and the other side, I'll mark 1.5 inch on the under bust, the waistline and full length. I'll connect the both points in a straight line like so. After doing that, I'm going to place my cover like so, and I'll connect my cup shape from the bust point to the under bust just like you see me doing. You can also achieve this using your free hand. From the shoulder, I measure what I have on the chest line. It was 7.5. I determined how high or low I want the chest line to be, so I marked 6 inch. Determine how high or low you want yours to be as well. You can also maintain it 7.5 inch if you want. So I'll level that point as my new chest line. I'll also extend the line like so. After doing that, I'll tighten the overbust by half inch on both sides. Then I'll connect from the chest line, new chest line to the burst point. After that, I'm going to mark quarter of my bust measurement and I'll replace that and also add 1.5 inch for seam allowance. On the waistline, I'll mark quarter of my waist measurement, then replace that of 2 inch and also 1.5 inch seam allowance. At the full length of the blouse, I marked quarter of my hip measurement, replace the 2 inch that intake and also 1.5 inch for my seam allowance. After that, I'll connect the 3 points to give me my shape just this way. After connecting, guys, this was what I had. The next thing I did was to come down from the waistline by 4 inch. I want to achieve the side curve we have in the picture inspiration. So from the waistline, I came down by 4 inch, yours could be 5. Then I went ahead to connect from that point to the that leg in a slant manner like so. Now that I'm done with that, next thing I want to do is to close this dart. I'm going to close this dart. Just watch what I'm doing here. I'll match it to the other line. Then I'll use my free hand and connect it just this way. Okay, you connect it. You can see how I shaped it into that line. So go ahead and do yours like so. After doing this, next thing I want to do now is to come down from the bust point by 1.5 inch. This will serve as my bust dart. Okay, then I'll connect to the bust point like so. I'll also shade that part and I'm going to be cutting it out. Next thing I want to do is to go up by half an inch from the new chest line. I went up by half inch, okay, on that over bust tightening. So I went ahead to connect from that point to my old chest line. I connected a sweetheart neckline there, but not exactly on the chest line, okay. So on the other side, I also went up by half an inch. You can see how I extended the line. So I'm going to, connect it like so and extend it in a straight line to that point. Do you get? Now I'm going to cut it out. Okay, just watch I'm cutting this. so you don't cut yours on the right part. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut it out just this way. If you have watched to this point, kindly hit on subscribe button. You can appreciate me by hitting on the subscribe button. I'll also cut through the armhole just this way. After cutting, I'm going to cut the back pattern. Okay, but before I cut the back pattern, ensure you close your bust dart. Okay, so after closing my bust dart, I noticed this side shifted, so I'm going to reshape it or reconnect it like so. After that, you trim it out using your scissors. Okay, just like this, and it's very easy as everything. So guys, this is what I had here after it's done. Let me go ahead and cut the back pattern. For the back pattern, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch for my zip allowance, just this way, and I'm going to connect in a straight line. After connecting a straight line, I'll place my tape and I'll get the 22 inch for my full blouse length. This is the 22 inch. After placing it like so, I went ahead to mark my waistline of 15 inch. Okay, so get your blouse length, then mark your waistline. Mine was 15 inch. I went ahead to mark. I'm going to also mark the same 15 inch on this other side. Then I'll remove my tape, place my ruler like so, and I'll connect a straight line from that point to my zip allowance. Okay, so now that I'm done with this, next thing I want to do is to mark part of my bust measurement, and also I'll mark part of my waist measurement here plus 1 inch for that and 1.5 inch for seam allowance. On the hip line, I'll mark part of my hip measurement plus 1.5 inch seam allowance. I'll connect from the bust line to the full length of my blouse just like this. Next thing I want to do is to take my dart intake. So for my dart intake, I mark 3.5 inch, half of my nipple to nipple. Then I'll connect in a straight line just this way. Okay, after connecting a straight line, I'm going to subtract half inch on both sides of the waistline, so this will serve as my dart intake. Okay, and you can see I did not connect from that point to the hem of the blouse. Okay, I stopped at least you come up by 2 inch or 3 inch, then you stop at that point. So on the waistline of the zipper allowance, I came in by half an inch and I had to connect in a slant manner like so. You can see what I did here. So this will remove any form of zipper buttness. Do you get? So now that I'm done with this, next thing I did was to bring my front pattern paper. I'll label as waist, and also I'll label the back pattern as waist as well. Okay, so you place the front pattern paper on the back pattern paper. Okay, make sure the both waist aligns very properly. Now that I'm done with that, next thing I want to do is to trace the hem part. Okay, I'll trace it to the that leg just this way. Now after tracing, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the armhole side. You just trace it like so. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to place it again. Then I'll bring the center front. I'll place the waistline of the center front exactly on the same waistline of the back pattern, just this way. Okay, I'll just label waist. So I'll trace the down part of the down part of the front pattern paper just this way. So I have the same curve I have at the front. Okay, the front and the back we have the same curve, but if you want your straight, you can make a straight line from that edge to this point. Okay, but I think the front blouse and back blouse has the same curve. Okay, I think they have the same curve. I just noticed it, but you can actually achieve any curve of your choice. Like you can make a straight line to meet the center back, or you can just make the same curve you made at the front pattern. You get? So the front and back pattern we have the same curve. Now that I'm done cutting, I'll label as front and back. Can you see? So the next thing I want to do now is to transfer them to the actual fabric. I've gone ahead to transfer to the actual fabric. I added half an inch stitching allowance all the way around except the center front. Do you get? Because it's on a fold. I also cut the lining as well, but I didn't iron extend. The material I'm working with, the ankara, is very light. Okay, it's very light, and I'm just making this for the sake of this tutorial. Okay, I'm not adding any stay or whatsoever. So if you're doing yours, you can just add stay. So you can see the my lining was half an inch shorter than the main fabric. Just cut out about half inch from your lining. Okay, because of your turn up effect, we are going to be stitching this down part later. Can you see? So this is what I have here, guys, after it's done. So the next thing I want to do now is to keep the back piece aside. Then this is the front. I'm going to also remove the lining for the front. Then also, if you're cutting your wording, let your wording length stop at the under bust. Okay. So for the wording, I'm using the one that has shining at the back. I've already ironed it out, so I'll just stitch the three pieces together using half an inch. I'll repeat the same thing on the lining as well. Okay. So we're going to stop here because this tutorial is already getting very long. Okay. So in my next tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys on how to stitch everything, how to make your sleeve, and how it will finally come out to be a very beautiful blouse. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to hit on subscribe button so you get notified.